was nice.
Well, come back.
Can you tell us when we've been going about 30 minutes?
Huh?
Can you tell us that? All right. Hey, this is Greg McIntyre and McIntyre Elder Law, and we're having lunch with a veteran today. And my guests are JD and Virginia Thomas. Okay? So JD and Virginia Thomas, and I'm the only one here not in my uniform, not because I don't have one, but because I can't fit in one. I can't fit in my uniform, and I don't know. I just can't still do it. How are you still fitting? Are these your uniforms you wore in service?
Well, yeah, they were.
Yeah, that's the
See,
one they issued me.
I'm
I wasn't
still in my
Army.
uniform, folks.
But I can't fit my Air Force one.
Right.
It won't button.
Why don't you button that?
So this is Lunch with a Veteran, and what we do every week, we sit down and we tell a different veteran story over lunch. And, you know, so those of you who are appalled at my eating habits, that's okay. My mother is too, I'm sure. But we have fun. We talk, and it's amazing some of the stories that come out. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And thank you for being on Lunch with a Veteran today.
Thank you.
I appreciate that,
I was
JD.
here, yes.
Yeah, and Virginia. So, this is a somewhat of a love story, but it started out when you went in the military, when you were young. Did you know each other?
No, I'm from Georgia. She's from Connecticut.
Oh, wow. How did a Georgia boy,
Meet her?
how did a country Georgia boy, or you might have been a city boy in Georgia, I don't know.
No.
No, tell him
That's
to
back in the backwoods.
Backwoods Georgia
They had to
boy.
shoot daylight in with a 22.
You know, our kids were kids. We said, well, we gave him different things that he never had,
Mhm.
and that's a mistake. I find out now. You know, to give your kids kind of things you didn't have,
Mhm.
sometimes it just backfires.
Right.
And
But you guys, you know, why did each one of you go in the military? Who wants to go first?
well, I had 5 uncles in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I was downtown Hartford and the recruiters were around, and I went in and got some information about the Air Force, and I was just thrilled. I had had 2 years of college at that time, and I signed up and went down to Lackland Air Force Base, of course, in San Antonio, Texas. And it was a completely different part of the country.
Mhm.
It was interesting, and they had people.
Well, I bet you San Antonio is a little bit different than Connecticut.
Yes, they had people like dressed up in costumes. The Mexicans going down the rivers, you know, playing songs, and,
Right.
and they were in little boats and things like that. It was a wonderful place because you hardly ever had to leave because there was movie theaters there. There was the hospitals. It was
Right on base.
Very nice. I had a 13-week basic because it was patterned after the Army.
Right?
And so I was getting, at the end of the basic, I was getting pretty sick of trying to be perfect all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything had
Wow.
to be neat and that kind of thing. And then I was sent to
Mine wasn't that
Colorado.
long. Mine was maybe 2 months.
Yeah, I was sent to Colorado to a base called Laurie Air Force Base, Denver, Colorado. And I worked all the time in an education office, doing GED testing, CLEP testing, and helping people become officers, all that kind of
Ooh,
thing.
I did a CLEP test. That's good stuff.
Yeah, because you
And-
don't
and
have
I-
to go to school.
I utilized the education office too
Yeah.
to line up classes and
I
get reimbursed for college. and
yeah,
everything.
right. And
Mhm.
he came to the education office to have some things done,
Mhm.
and I didn't know him then until I met him on the gate going out the Air Police gate. And then on the way back in, you see, after they look at your ID cards, then they tell you, you know, they know your name. Way to get acquainted. So
Mhm.
he'll tell you what it was like in Denver because that was the summer White House for President Eisenhower, and he's going to tell you about that.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, what year did you go in the military?
54.
54.
Mhm.
And was
So
it
I was
common for women to go in the military then?
Yes.
Okay.
But see, I was telling the girl, we were like in a college like there,
Mhm.
all women commanders, women first sergeants, and we were really protected, you know,
Right.
from what happens these days.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, they're kind of thrown in the mix together, I guess.
No, that's, no,
boot camp.
no, and, you know, everybody seemed to be treated pretty well there, the girls and the men. And it was a different era.
It was a different era. The 50s
And
were
I mean, it's kind of sad what goes on now. Like, they interviewed me and said, well, what do you think about going into combat? And I said, I'm not so much worried about the enemy, I'm worried about my own troops. Do you understand what I mean? Things have changed so much.
Right.
He'll tell you about what he did out there and the astronauts he met.
Mhm.
He was a special guard, honor guard for President Eisenhower.
Well,
So
thank
he'll
you
tell
very
you-
much for your. So you met him when he was coming in to do some education work.
Well, but
You met JD.
I did, but I didn't, he was like just one of the people that were coming in. I really got to know him when he was an air policeman at the gate,
Mm-hmm.
when I was going in and out, because I didn't notice him when he came in. You know, a whole group of them come in to get education things, and I didn't really, you know, we didn't really have a conversation. Everything was business. So he'll tell you about his.
Okay. I want to see how you two found each other.
At the air police gate.
At the gate?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
more or less, because you have to show your ID cards to get out, then they know your name, so when they come back in, they're ready to have a little conversation with you.
Right.
And in the base, the base was wonderful because it had, you know, movie theaters, but it had a cafeteria, and that was the place a lot of the lower enlisted people all went there.
Sure.
Because you had coffee, and it was a fun thing to do. You didn't leave the base, and you had all these little snacks and things, and so, you know, we went there and so forth and so on. So he'll tell you about his
Yes, ma'am.
things.
JD, it looks like I'm going to have to come to you to find out the whole story behind this. JD, why'd you go in the military?
Why did I go in the military?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was way out of the South. Well, I grew up
In Georgia?
Campbell,
Appalachia.
Georgia area, where the Appalachian Trail starts in Haven, Georgia there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing down here but a cotton field. You know, most everybody, there was no work down this way, and I born down there, raised down there till I was about 10 or 11 years old, and we moved away from there, went to South Carolina, and I went in the Army National Guard there in '53 with my cousin. And
was
I was
15
in the
years old then.
51st Infantry Division, 51st Signal Corps, and took boot camp at Fort McClellan, Alabama. And then we moved again, cause rec can do. And we
Hard times.
went to Belmont, North Carolina here, and a friend of mine came home from the Air Force, and I asked him, I said, you get me in the Air Force? He said, yeah. So we went to Charlotte. He swore that I was 17, and he swore that I was he was my guardian, and I boarded that plane, went to San Antonio, Texas.
Never came back.
Never
I mean,
came
you
back.
went that day to see about getting a service, and whoop, away you went.
Went right down to San Antonio, and from there I went to Laurie Air Force Base there, and as an air policeman, and we did the flag details and raised the flag, lowered the flag, and run security and patrol the base. And then I worked my way up, and they put me in charge of the arsenal for all the
Weapons.
base defense weapons, and anybody brought weapons on base would have to check them into me and check them out. And the ammunition had to be by me also. All the thing went there, and then they said, well,
So if you bring a weapon on base, at that time you had to check it in.
yes, you had to check it in there. If they took it off base, you had to come sign it out. And then I worked mostly for a colonel on the base, and he I handle military funerals for the state of Colorado. In 1959, when the commander called me in, he says, "You're going to meet some VIPs out at the funeral you're going to," and he says, "Just do your job and get out of there." And come to find out, was the first 5 astronauts later that Kennedy introduced.
Okay. And I just watched The Right Stuff last week again. I bought that movie. I love that movie, The Right Stuff. Have you seen that movie?
No, we
No,
haven't.
no.
Oh, it's all about those 5 astronauts
Yeah.
who were test pilots before
Yes,
they
they
died.
were. They were test pilots.
And the one that wasn't part of them is Chuck Yeager. He was part of that crowd first, but he didn't go to the astronaut route. And he was a little older than they
Yeah.
were. You know,
Gus Grissom and Alan Shepard.
Gus Grissom, Alan Shepard,
Yeah. And
John Glenn,
John Glenn. And I got to meet them all.
Cooper.
I buried his father.
See,
He
that's
was a
what
colonel in the Air
He
Force.
was buried
Okay.
in Rifle,
In
Colorado,
Rifle,
little town.
Colorado. They sent me up there with 18 men up by train. There was so much snow. We went by train up there. I carried 18 men up there, and they had 3 bars in the whole town, and I knew where to find them.
They were,
And we did a good job up there. It looked like Boot Hill up there, and I buried 3,600 troops, servicemen while I was in the state of Colorado. And I enjoyed that time in the service, and it was a good education for me and good learning experience. And I only came home maybe once or twice in the whole 8 years. And I got the Air Force Commendation Medal for being on the funeral detail, setting it up and handling it, make sure it went off all right.
That's a lot of. They call that salad over there.
Yeah,
Well,
salad.
that's a lot of salad over there.
Ain't all, I mean, these ain't all the things on my sleeve I can wear. I just don't want to sew them on.
There's more where that came from, right?
Yes, and my son called me and says he spent 27 years in the military, and he got the flip over almost in there. But you know who only wore one ribbon?
Who?
And I stood on a guard for him. Eisenhower.
yeah, he
Good
was,
conduct medal, that's all he wore. You look at any of his uniform he's in, his khakis.
He just put in the good conduct medal. He probably had more than that.
Oh, heck yes, yeah.
But he wanted to wear that good conduct.
Guess what?
and see, that was the summer White House there. And he was an honor guard for President Eisenhower. That's Mamie, President Eisenhower's wife. Her family came from Denver, Colorado, so that's why.
Well, I used to come out there and go fishing in Granby, Colorado. You know, I lived in Granby, Colorado, Granby, Connecticut for about 50 years. And we headed back up now pretty soon. And then I got out the Air Force in 1960, and we moved to Connecticut. I went to the barber school on the Korean GI Bill. You had to work for somebody 8 years before you could own your own shop.
Right.
So I owned my own shop. Owned my own shop in 1967.
At that time, you had to work for another barber for 8 years before you owned a barber shop?
Yeah, well, you could own it, but you couldn't run it.
Yeah, it was
Why would
it was the old European,
Apprenticeship system.
yeah,
You had to
you
do a
apprentice, a
journeyman.
journeyman, and then a master barber.
Sure. You used to, law used to be an apprenticeship profession as well. Okay?
Yeah.
Way back when, you know.
Well, that's the way the barber pole got started. What the barber pole got started from and what it represents is the blue is for the veins, red for the blood, and the white is for the bandage they used when they did blood lettering.
Barbers were
And
so
gold teeth and everything. And most time when I go to the doctor, I tell him, well, we gave up your trade. And but anyway, I got back to Connecticut there and opened my own business in East Granby in 1967. And ran it in East Granby for a couple of years. We sold out, came down to North Carolina, and didn't like it. So we turned around and moved back 2 years later. That's when I got out of the Legion up there and lost about
See,
10
we
years.
came down in '72, but we thought the desegregation issue was over, but it wasn't. And
Well, the schools, they had to,
no,
I got on the Board of Education out in Lincoln, and the schools, they had it was just like open barracks in the service. The showers, the johns were all open, no doors on them. No, it just wasn't suitable for a school, what I was
Students.
concerned. I wasn't used to that type of stuff, and so we turned around, and moved back, and I bought my old house back, and I bought my old shop back. Cost me a lot of money to make that mistake, but I got it out of my system. But here I am again doing the same thing.
Well,
Moving back up? You moving
I
back
don't
up?
know yet. I haven't
Okay.
figured that out yet.
we're out on Ellis Road, 2411 Ellis Road, in an old plantation house.
What I miss more than anything down here is my clientele. You can't be cutting hair for 50 years and not know somebody, because you realize that you have cut a head of hair, you better have another one right behind him. Because one head of hair don't pay you a living. So you realize how many people you gotta know to have a living out of barber business. When I started cutting hair in Granby, Connecticut, haircuts for men were $1.50. Kids were $1.25 in 1960. And 2013 in my shop, haircuts were $1.16.
Right.
$16.
$16, and
$16.
kids were, and I gave all the military, I cut most of the military hair up there, and I cut most of the state cops and the prison guards and firemen and like that. They all get haircuts.
He come home with some funny stories though.
Well, you gotta have a good story.
I think that one, but it was really something that really happened about the town dump.
Well, I ain't gonna tell that.
No, I mean, it's just,
That ain't a joke, that's
no,
real.
no, I mean, but it's kind of peculiar.
No, but anyway,
But I bet you, I mean, just like, I mean, you're always talking when you're cutting hair too, probably.
you gotta cut hair, so you can't, a guy comes in to get a haircut, he wants in and out, he's on his lunch hour. He's working at Hamilton, Standard, Pratt, Whitney, or a combustion engineer, or one of those insurance companies up there, and
I'm gonna give you this.
he's gotta eat and get back to where he works, because in an hour. And then and he likes to talk. The best thing you can do if you're in business is you don't talk religion, you don't talk politics, and you don't talk money. Those are three things that nobody else's business. How much money you make, what party you belong to, what church you go to.
But you do talk.
Yeah, you do talk.
I think that's a lost art. Small talk.
You know what?
Just being able to talk to somebody else.
Texting today. See, even your grandkids don't talk to you no more. They text you. They want you to go on that.
Right.
Well, somebody calls me and tells me to go online. I tell them my line only goes 50 feet and it's got clothespins on it.
We're very much against the technical world because
Well,
we never were in it. And
Well,
we think it's,
It's here to stay, and it's
Well,
going to get
yes.
worse. Eventually, they'll have robots doing your job.
who knows?
Then what are we going to do?
It's a true story.
It is. And they're going to, how are we going to feed the world? If we got all people out there, robots working,
Well,
nobody.
I think that's such a true. What you said, I've said before, and I think is extremely true. And I think I see a lack of connection to people, even other business people, now.
Oh yes, I see it in stores.
And oh yeah, I mean you go in a department store now, and you got to help yourself.
That's
Used
right.
to, I'd go in a department store uptown here growing up with my mother, and there were multiple people in there that knew her and would help her pick out clothes or what can I do for you? How can I help you? That's just not the way businesses are set up anymore.
Technology's run us in some ways. Family life. You see, there's no more family life because of technology, the dishwasher, the TV, the telephone, and all these technologies taking family talk out of the house. And mother and daughter used to wash and dry the dishes.
Sometimes I like to wash dishes. Okay, my wife could tell you that.
Yeah.
but it's a chance for me to sit there with my kids.
Talk to them.
Yeah, and have them dry dishes and put them up. We do something.
Yeah.
Just do something. That's right.
And I tell you, the technology, it's here to stay. You ain't gonna do nothing about it because you look at the cities used to be the place to shop. It was safe to walk around everywhere in the cities. We got out of the service in '60. We shopped in Hartford. Well, what did away with the city was a mall.
Shopping malls.
Yes.
That's right. Same thing uptown, Shelby.
Yeah,
When the mall came about,
that's all.
everybody moved up there to.
Yeah, and you know what? They're gonna do away with the mall. You know how?
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna shop over that computer and have it, and they're gonna do away with UPS and
FedEx.
FedEx and all that because everything's gonna be delivered with a drone. Right to your house. Programmed.
I think you're right. I mean, that's coming.
We
You
got
see Amazon
warehouses
testing
right
that
now.
out.
Warehouses right now, 1,000,000 square feet in it, and they got. It's all done with a machine. It comes off, the machine goes, takes it off, and puts it on a conveyor belt, and the cook picks up and picks it up. I mean, how many jobs did that eliminate? And these are jobs that people could do without a lot of skill. And down here, look,
It'll
Can I go
what
over and
happened?
grab those paper?
it'll eliminate the headache of having to deal with people. Is what they think, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The paper cups over there.
Oh yes, ma'am. Let me get you one.
Well, they don't want to.
One
When I
for-
say that is your technology today, they got cars gonna be driving themselves, well, what the heck, you don't need a service station, you don't, that's gonna put a lot.
Don't need a truck driver.
You need a truck, everything has to be delivered.
You don't have to get a truck driver to drive it. You can have it
No.
drive itself.
And they'll have robots unload it and load it.
Well, I got finished and got a degree and still, I did work in the schools and things like that. But, you know, I just feel like because of the times changing, it's just, the whole thing, you know, it's just very difficult. And like here, when the cotton mills went out, there wasn't work, and the mothers are working, and the kids are left alone, and there's just so many incidences about child abuse or neglect or whatever. It's just horrible.
Ton of problems. I was talking at church with somebody yesterday about that very issue, about the lack of employment in Cleveland County and how to put people back to work and get off drugs.
Yeah, because I don't think that all those kids that are 16, 17, that are out with guns and everything else, if something else was offered to them. I
agree with you. I think people would want to take a hand up and get an education or get a good job, you know, as opposed to some of the lives that people lead now. You know,
Well,
feel hopeless that
I
they
think
don't
that
have the
it would be
jobs.
wonderful. Now,
Don't have a job.
Trump says he's gonna fix the bridges and things. Open up the CCC again. This is where back in the 30s when the
What's the
Depression-
CCC?
Conservation Corps, and they
Well, they built a lot of the state parks, they built all the roads. and they
Yeah.
So
built
was
all
that
the-
and
the
they
new
were-
deal? Was that came about with the New Deal?
I'm not, no,
Yeah, no?
well, let me see, was it, I'm not sure whether Roosevelt was in or not. It was in the 1930s that it started.
Okay.
But these people were, they had places
Like the
like
Hoover
Farm to
Dam? Hoover
Stay.
Dam?
Well, that
Yeah,
was-
dams and everything, and
Yeah, built them down.
were paid and they sent money home because it was hard times.
Well, not only that, but you see, the way they did that, they had these camps, and they'd give whoever was in the CC camps, they'd give them $5 $10, and they'd send the rest of it home to their
Family.
spouse, and
Sure.
let them, and but that helped the town. So they spend it, and it didn't help just one town; they came from everywhere.
Right.
So that was one way that we did that. Remember when we did the Cash for Clunkers here to create the economy again? And under the old administration, that's the way it happened. And what I say, we're just the beginning of this year technology thing. And but
And it's going to get
still get worse.
worse, yeah, before it gets better.
Yeah.
Well,
We got to figure out what else humans are going to do.
Well, you're not even gonna use money. Look at, a lot of people never see no money. They don't see no money.
It's very true.
Yeah, nobody handles money. It's always on a card. I never had a credit card. I don't have an ATM card or debit card.
Sure.
Somebody steal my identity, he wouldn't know how to use it.
we feel,
Bring it back. You know, no good. No, I don't have all those things. And you know what? It is good to be that way. A lot of people buy things impulse and get themselves in trouble because when you spend your money.
I agree with you that not having the cash in hand,
Yeah.
cash in your hand, and counting out, look, we're going to pay this for this bill,
That's
this
right.
for this bill, this for this bill, and this is what I have left over to spend.
Right.
And we're going to save some, hopefully.
Yeah.
Savings is a thing of the past.
Oh.
I think it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to save $1 anymore, and a lot of people don't save $1. But when you get just this money on a card or in an account, it's not as real to you.
No,
I don't think it's not to me. It's
too
not
easy.
as real.
It's too easy to overspend that.
It is. I agree with
You
you.
don't see the money.
I agree with you.
And a lot of people know how to make change. I've
Sure.
been to stores here, they can't make change if you give them. I went to a store the other day and I got some food and it came to $19.67. So I gave her a $20 bill and 67 cents.
Right.
So she gave me back $1. She didn't know what to give me back.
so he had to go back down, he says, I'm
I had
going
to go
back to
and
my
get
dollar.
back. They gave me, I said, I think you cheated me a little bit here. And,
Right.
she said she finally figured it out. So if they didn't tell you on that machine up there what you give back, they won't know how to count money.
They don't know how to do it. Yeah.
No, you gotta start this $29.99, 92, 93, 94, 95. You gotta know how to count backwards
Sure.
and forward. It's the world's moving too fast in some ways, and
For all of us.
for all of us. And I don't know what we're going to do down the road. I'm too old to worry about it, and I'm not going to worry about it. And but my kids and grandkids will have to worry about the world in 2030. And what will it be then? Cars run themselves, and they talk about fuel, energy that we want to have to run the whole thing. We got to have mass transit in this country pretty soon. You travel to Charlotte.
Oh, yeah, that was one thing. It took
We
us
went
4
to-
hours to get through Charlotte. I was going to a doctor's appointment.
We took a doctor's appointment. We're up there 6 o'clock. When you get to the doctor's appointment in Charlotte,
10.
till 11 o'clock. And half of them knew it because they didn't get there either.
So I figured the doctor would cancel. This is what our doctors do. If you're, and they don't care what happened. If you miss your appointment, you're going to. But we felt all embarrassed and everything. And they said, oh, no, don't worry. We just got here. We were stuck in the traffic, too.
Well, eventually houses will be built with no kitchen. You'll be eating out all the time. It's cheap, almost cheaper right now to eat out than it is, but you don't know what you eat
A lot
when
of
you
truth
eat
to
out.
that. A lot of truth to that. And you don't know what's in your food.
That's what I mean.
necessarily.
That's the reason why both of them need 2 chairs to sit in most of the time.
Yeah, we're
It's true.
kind
It's very
of
true.
we're kind of aghast of it. We knew that Southern people, the food was very fattening and everything. But boy, to see some of them that were
Right.
sitting on 2 chairs and in these restaurants where you help yourself to everything. Oh my God!
Yeah, I mean, eating at home certainly does let you know exactly what you have in, my wife does the cooking.
Well,
I used to do a lot more. I used to cook, but
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time because, I guess
you're busy.
I'm working. Yeah, and it's no excuse, but I do the dishes a lot. And but I'm lucky we do eat at home a lot. And we
Well,
do eat a lot.
you're a lawyer and you have to dress appropriately. Like, let's say we go down to Walmart, and the people there just don't even, their hair's not combed, everything is just a mess, the men, and nobody,
Especially
So things have changed in your lifetime, and not necessarily for the better.
no,
I don't remember that when I was a kid growing up.
No,
And I think
people
people
don't dress up today.
Dressed up more.
They dress down.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't take care of themselves. You know, I want to look as young as I can for as long as I can.
Sure.
And I want to be able to bend over and tie my shoes to get to your toenails.
I wonder how we did get to a point where a lot of us don't care about ourselves anymore. And that might be related to education and jobs and those types of things too. You know, maybe, but
I
don't know.
think it goes back to a thing that people keep themselves too busy with this electronic stuff. You go to any place.
Right.
You go to a dentist's office or somebody, everybody's sitting around playing like little
With
phone.
their phones, yeah.
You see them
Oh,
rolling it.
his sister is in the hospital here. She has
Sure.
CLPD, very, very ill. And so everybody was going up to see her, and he said, it was her daughter and some of the people, the younger
Well, I
people,
walked in
they were
the-
sitting
I walked
here.
in the waiting area and everybody's sitting in there, ain't talking
No,
to
darn.
each other of what's
Right.
going on or nothing. They're looking, their mind's 10,000 miles away.
It is, and it's distracted.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
just
people aren't in the moment when they're doing that. They're not in the moment. They
people
don't-
get killed on the road in cars from talking, texting on the phone more than do drunk driving.
Sure, sure.
And that's what I worry about driving all the way to Connecticut. Who's I'm gonna, and worst thing you can do is drop your phone and reach down and pick it up.
Hey, let me ask you something, JD.
Yeah.
Just to bring you back to the beginning. You remember meeting Virginia in the service?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember meeting her in the service and on the gate she's coming in on not Colfax or Lafayette Street on there and running the, we call that gate 14 over there and
Right.
I'm checking her in, she's coming in this little,
A little car I
Rambler.
called McDuff, what was it, Nash?
there's a nice Rambler 54 and
Nash Rambler?
Yeah.
What's a
Little
Nash?
nice, that's a car.
A Nash is a car?
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
He's
A
a
Nash
car.
Rambler.
I know my cars.
Okay.
And,
I believe it.
Yeah.
A Nash
I
Rambler.
was working
Okay.
a little bit part-time,
Yeah.
because, you know,
She worked at Chicken Delight,
What year was the Nash Rambler?
54.
I'm gonna get a picture and post that.
well, you know,
After the
you know
meeting.
what?
There's a little
And
station
when we
wagon,
went
green
down,
station wagon. We
54
came,
Nash Rambler. Okay.
yeah, I had a 51 Mercury,
Right.
and I had a 40 Ford convertible before I had the 51 Mercury when I went out there. But to make the payments, I didn't have enough money left over to buy the gas. Or again, you couldn't have. I didn't have no credit card. Never had a credit card in my life.
Right.
I think I got my first credit card when I started leaving the barber shop. I didn't go a lot of places.
Right.
When you cutting hair for 50 years, and but I said she came in and I checked her out, and I said, "What are you doing out this late at night?"
yeah, see, just how the conversation goes.
And I took my time checking her out, and of course nobody around, you know. But it's after 12 o'clock, and usually people out after 12 o'clock shouldn't be driving.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
see, I was coming home from the little restaurant,
So
Oh, you know, that
anyway,
yeah, it was
my friend and I, we seen him at, he seen a girl up at the cafeteria on base, and I had the card. Most people didn't have a card. I loaned a lot of money when I was in the service, but I got it all back. And I worked 3 jobs while I was in the service. And
I've heard of people working side jobs when they're in the service.
yeah, I
too.
worked at the
People
service
like that.
station. I worked at
I did not work a side job when I was in the military. But you know, come to think of it, I probably could have.
well, they had the commissary. You
Yeah.
could buy a loaf of bread then with 5 cents.
Sure.
And you work at the commissary taking groceries out for people to buy them and just for tips.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to work at 7 in the morning, work till 3 o'clock for the military, running the arsenal and taking care of the weapons, people going, checking them in and out. And then you get off at 3, go down to town, off base, work at a service station, run the service station at 10 o'clock at night. Gas was $29.9, $39.9, only 2 brands. And I'd close the service station, walk across the street to the bar and grill, wash dishes till 2 in the morning. Did that for 3 years. send money home to help take care of my siblings. And I did that, and I was the only guy on base that had any money before payday because I never spent any. I was working all the time.
So tell them how they would make sure that you got the money back.
Well, they knew where to come to get the money. They come to me because he knew I had money. And they'd say, I need $10, I'm going to town, anything to go see the girls. And he'd want 20, he'd want 15. I always carried some checks for the bank on the base. I says, all right, what you're going to pay me back is this. For that 10, sign it. I said, now, 2 days after payday, if you come look for me, I ain't come to look for you. I'm going to cash this check, and the old man will have you in the office if you don't come and get it.
Yeah, if you made a bad check, or brought a bad check back in the service,
It was a
they
big
really,
deal.
they really drug
Right.
you right in.
So you'd take a check back, take a little money, like a little interest for
Oh, yeah.
for what you
the
got.
banks do it, why shouldn't I?
Sure.
Yeah,
So you
no.
were the base bank.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, they knew,
I
you
love
know, the banks are closed when they want to go out.
Sure.
So, I'll tell you a good little story about Wells Fargo. They talk about banks. They were hauling a big load of money out in the bad country, out west. A stagecoach. They're making that deep in the sand, the wheels were. That load of money, and they're going along, the shotgun rider and the driver, and they're going along pretty good. Pretty soon the shotgun rider says to the driver, you know, there's an Indian behind us? He said, how close is he? I don't know, he says. He said, well, how tall is he? Oh, he's about knee high. Oh, he's back there 30 miles. He'll never catch us. So they're going along pretty good, you know, and pretty soon that shotgun rider says that Indian's gaining on him. He said, how tall is he now? He said, about waist high. He's got one horse, we got 6, we'll outrun him. So they put the horses on the back, and now they're making a little dust, you know. Pretty soon the shotgun rider says, you know, that Indian's about ready to climb aboard. Oh, hell, they say, shoot him. And he says, I can't shoot that Indian. I've known him ever since he was knee high.
Well, he should tell you that one of his air policeman friends noticed one of the girls in the military, and then you had the car,
Yeah, I had to.
and
Wheels.
so we were going to meet at the cafeteria, or I was with my girlfriend at the cafeteria. Then you finish the story.
Well, he was a air policeman, and he set this thing all up and through his girlfriend. And we're going to meet him. I didn't know I was going to meet. You know, it could have been whoever. As long as it was a female, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went up there, and I got stopped with her.
Yeah, all of a sudden, see, I knew actually the other air policeman. I had talked to him, and I knew him a little bit more. So when everybody got in the car, he got in the car with my girlfriend, and I was stuck with him. Whoa.
You've been stuck with
You
me
got
ever
stuck
since.
with him.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that
that
got
was
unstuck in.
yeah. So that, you know, we went off base, right?
We got 4 kids, Annie, Minnie, Monty, and Randy.
Any, mini, money, and Randy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't gonna be no more.
Ain't gonna be no more. All right.
Well,
I got
you know, we're very friendly with your father-in-law.
Evan.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, we're gonna have a party down at Ellis Road, and also, he's gonna be able to put furniture, you know, once they move, and we're giving him permission to put furniture in our big metal building, so, and we'll give him a key so they can do what.
Yeah, anything you don't want to move over to the church where they're gonna be
Yeah.
moving.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, sticking in there, it's a big building, sitting
Yeah,
there
and,
doing nothing.
His wife is very nice
Sure,
person,
she's very
very nice
Oh,
person.
she's a
I know
worker.
they're divorced, and, you know, I know.
They're workers.
That's her daughter that was out, the blonde that was
Really?
here. Yeah, that's my wife.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, was it?
Yeah. Open that door right there.
No, I don't, you know,
Hey, Stephanie.
She's out eating.
Hey, is Stephanie here?
No.
She might have left.
Yeah, they all gone.
no, I,
She might have left and gone to pick
I
up Kate.
really,
Yeah.
well, we're very, we had him over twice
Make that
for,
up like a little area.
lunch or something, and
Sure.
JD had gone and got, we're not drinkers, we're smokers.
Right.
And so we got this little bit of wine and we had a dinner for them and we had the wine. And she wrote me a note that said it was such fun because he always has so many jokes to tell.
No, they enjoyed our company, and we talked. We didn't sit around and text.
Understood. Understood. That's
And
right.
we don't sit around, somebody comes over, we don't turn
People
TV
don't
on.
tell jokes like they used to either.
No.
People are scared to offend somebody else.
Well, you know why?
Why?
You read one on a computer, you gotta delete it.
Yeah.
So when it's deleted, you forget it.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't tell jokes because they can't remember
You
their
don't hear
name.
people tell jokes like they used to.
No, they
That's
don't.
true.
You can know who's the best guy to tell jokes?
Who?
A salesman.
A salesman, because
Yeah.
they got jokes, because
They
they
got
talk to
jokes.
people all the time.
They're
Well,
trying
That's
to
a
break.
great icebreaker.
Yeah, that's
you
an
gotta-
icebreaker.
It's a great icebreaker.
The guy told me, he says, he sells me, he says, the worst thing you do is go in to try to sell somebody something that smokes a pipe.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean? He said, well, all you do is watch him clean that pipe. He ain't listening to a thing you're saying. You might as well leave.
That's right.
You ain't gonna sell him nothing. He's gonna show you how to clean that pipe.
Well, I grew up on a dairy farm in Connecticut. I was, really lucky that I had that kind of a life. There were a lot of dairy farms there. And it was a period of time where, heavens to Betsy, women, any woman that smoked and drank was somebody with ill repute. So anyway,
Right.
my family, that was the way it was.
Mhm.
So I never got into that, and I'm so healthy today. And then his poor sister has COPD, and she was working in
Worked
the
in the
mills.
cotton mills down here.
And they had no
cotton mills.
masks or anything, and
And
that's
smoke. You know, they all smoke
and
like a
this is
fiend.
what was so unfair. The breaks that were given, during the day where you could stop working and go outside, were only done only if you were a smoker. So naturally, if you want to get a break, you're going to smoke, go out. I mean,
find that,
the South is so unfair to people. Here it's the right to work state, but
down here in the whole America,
Right.
the whole America,
Yes, sir.
and whatever they do, don't know how to do it in moderation.
Right.
It won't hurt your body if you do things in moderation. You can overeat, you can overdrink, you can oversmoke, you can overdo work.
Right.
You gotta know when to say when.
Moderation.
Moderation.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah. Everybody buys a
Very
bottle.
good words to live.
Buys a bottle, you can take a shot at 3 fingers out of it, but you don't drink the whole bottle. Ain't gonna make one tomorrow.
Right.
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was, but we're very close with Evan and Shirley.
Yeah.
She
I
probably went to pick up our daughters.
Yeah, and you had
Our
4
daughters.
I
children.
see your
Yeah,
son at
6.
the,
Oh, 6. You poor guy.
what's that?
Yeah, they had 6 children. I thought it was 4.
Well, my son married a girl, had 6 kids.
We had, our younger son did.
That's a lot of, we used to call it baggage, but that's
Sure.
a lot of
It's
responsibility.
a lot of kids.
A lot of kids. He don't have any.
Yeah. Oh, he does now.
He doesn't have any.
Welcome to 60.
Well, I mean, you're a young lawyer and everything, and I'm sure everybody knows about you, but gosh, to support a family, 6 kids and everything, you've got to,
Gotta work. Daddy's gotta work.
you've got to, you
My,
should be,
my granddaughter's supposed to be studying to be a lawyer at Harvard, and my son's youngest daughter, she should be a lawyer. She's got the personality for it, but I couldn't. I know a lot of lawyers. I've
Sure.
cut a lot of lawyers' hair,
Right.
and
Well, I'm sorry.
but
I'm sorry you had to be around that many lawyers.
no.
but they are too many of them.
I agree.
They don't all make a killing.
Make it.
No, they don't.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I make more money cutting hair than some of the lawyers.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Because it ain't. You've got to have a customer. You got to have a guy that's got money to help to afford you to start with,
Sure.
and you can't do everything for nothing. And there's just too many of them. Everybody says, like I told my granddaughter, I says, there's a lot of lawyers out there chasing ambulances and fire trucks and things. I says, you might ought to think of some other field.
Sure.
I says, You can't all be politicians.
When the younger granddaughter, that's my son who was a Marine, the youngest, she was supposed to go to UConn.
Mm-hmm.
Top line. Oh,
Sure, that's a
studied
big
all,
miss,
you know, sort of kind of, I mean, she's way up there. I mean, actually, she's so smart, but her personality to get along with people is zilch. Anyway, she expected to go into UConn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, UConn was taking some of the people, the minorities, because they were getting these grants,
Mm-hmm.
and so they didn't take her with all her high grades and everything else. So she went to I think it's in Amherst, a college up in Massachusetts, and my son is paying $65,000 a year.
Wow.
Well,
Expensive.
her mother's working and giving her a check to the school.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
mean,
it is.
I think they work very hard. My son in the Marines there, and his wife are, you know, they were very saving people, and they really worked hard. And this is, you know, I know this is their retirement money that's throwing into this. And then she's supposed to go to Harvard. But she's gonna do
My
it.
son,
She's
he
so
did the
smart.
right thing.
that-
He says,
The 4 years, she's doing it in 3.
Wow.
The lower,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, I wanted to thank you very much for being on Lunch with a Veteran today. I appreciate that. You know, I love talking to veterans and hearing their stories and from their era and how it affected their lives. And you two seem to be two of a kind that met in the military and are still together today.
I think everybody should have to go in the military after high school,
Right.
men and women. Make no difference if you got all brains or no brains. They got jobs for you in there and teach you how to take orders from somebody else, like your parents.
Right?
Teach you how right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good upbringing in the service.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I grew up a ton when I was in the military when I was
Yeah.
younger. And
You
it
have to
gave me
make
a good-
decisions.
It gave me a better foundation to
Yeah.
build a life on.
Right. Tell them about that sign you have in the barber shop about.
Well, I had some people come in and write it down, take it home, put it on the refrigerator. It's a license plate, and it's got written on there, "Attention teenagers, now's the time to take action. Leave home and pay your own way while you know it all."
You know it all. Teenagers. See, they know it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting out of your parents' house at a young age and seeing the world and getting some discipline and making some money, it's good. It's not bad for you.
Yeah, and you're not, today, it used to when I grew up in the 30s and 40s, and you're not dealing with the next door kid, or the next county kid, or the next state kid. You're dealing with India, Pakistan, all these people are jumping way ahead of us, and doctors, lawyers. You go to, look who's working on you in the hospitals. Look who's coming around. Look who's running the banks. Look who's running the convenience store. They work 7 days a week.
I agree. And America being the land of opportunity, they're taking opportunities.
They're taking the opportunity.
And you can't be mad at people for doing that.
No.
But you know, I agree with you that some of our own native citizens get somewhat complacent and don't take advantage of all the opportunities afforded them
Yes.
in this country.
Yes,
It's very true.
Everybody talks about
I
the
agree.
good old days. Let me tell you, the good old days are right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'm not a fan of lamenting the past.
No.
Live now and
Live now.
take advantage of your opportunities.
Your good days are right now. You don't have all this.
Sure.
But let some of that technology stay in its place
Right.
and deal with your family a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta make rules like you can't do your texting at the table when we're having
Well,
supper,
when
you know,
people
dinner.
come over, you go to people's houses, turn the TV off. No talk goes on if I'm coming to yours.
I agree with you. My family works a lot differently. If, for instance, the TV, there's this big, huge TV in the den, okay, on the wall.
Everybody has
It
one.
went out, okay?
Yeah.
It went out a couple of weeks ago, and I have not replaced it, all right? So it's amazing how much more outside time the kids spend.
Yeah.
They get their homework done earlier. They go
Healthy.
outside.
Not only that,
They
they tell
talk
you
to
what
each
they're
other.
doing, what you do.
I'm a
That's all.
big fan. I agree with you.
That
I
fall,
saw what's his name, Ben Carson or whatever. That was you saw the guy who's
a doctor.
Neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
He said, his mom, when she was raising him, she would she wouldn't let them watch TV.
Yeah.
Or she wouldn't let him watch TV. She made him read
Yeah.
books and made him play outside.
Right.
He attributes that to a lot of his success. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like
I agree with that.
I like his disposition he had.
I like him, yeah. But just not watching television all the time is cutting the TV off for your kids is a good thing to do.
Well, there's one thing about, I have to say about your lawyers. I can tell a lawyer most of the time,
Yes, sir.
he's not high up with his voice and down with his voice. He's on a calm level
Right.
all the time. The same, he's not going up the stairs and down all the time.
Sure.
And I've noticed that with a lot, not you, but I've
Sure.
got a lot of police, a lot of people that should be lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
Take it home for him.
they don't get,
Let's just take the whole thing.
No,
Yeah.
you got a staff here.
No. You take
You've
the
got
whole
a
thing.
staff.
Oh, they probably-
No, and you've got
It'll
kids.
go to waste. It'll go to
Then
waste.
they will turn their nose up at it?
It'll go
Are
to
you
waste.
sure?
Well, I just think it'll go to waste. Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean,
think
we're
you can
glad to take it, but, you've got people out there that work. I would not be.
They've already eaten lunch. I guarantee you. Okay. So you make sure. I want to make sure you take.
All right, well, that's very nice of you.
well, it's nice to talk to you, Greg.
It's
and,
nice to talk to you
nice
too,
to
JD.
see you at the meetings.
Oh, I love the Legion.
But I tell you, Evans and I agree on one thing.
What's that?
We don't need that Legion Hall. We need to find a place that's bigger than that.
Yeah.
A
you know
bigger
what?
spot.
You know
Yeah,
what?
a bigger spot, even if you add
Before
on.
we discuss the Legion business, let me turn this off there. Thank you for tuning in to Lunch with a Veteran, okay? And I'll have another veteran here next week.